Choo choo, I am all on the Bitcoin train. It's funny because when I decided to invest in Bitcoin, I just made a bunch of money in the stock market. Not a bunch, like 5 grand, which is a bunch for me, off of some weed stocks randomly, right? These things were like $3 a pop, but they jumped up to like 50, $60 a pop, and I made like 5 grand off of it, right? And then I said, man, should I invest in this Bitcoin thing? I did one card pull read and I pulled the bottom of the deck and this card was there. Isn't it so funny with the coin right there? But you see how he's on a wild ride. He's going through the woods and the twigs and the trees are smacking him in the face. And he said, get ready for this. And it was so true because I got in at about 40 or 50,000 as it was going up to that record high of 68,000 or whatever it was, right? Just below 70 grand. And I remember getting in and it was all green. And I was like, my account was like, I put in a couple grand and I was up to like 10, 11,000. And I was like riding high. I was like, woo! And then we all know what happened next. It fell all the way to 15 grand and everything I invested got wiped out. I mean, I still had money in the account, but it got wiped out and so did my whole riding on the high horse, you know what I mean? And it was just so funny because I had just returned to work and everything was topsy turvy. I didn't even know my days off. I was working 5, 6 days a week sometimes, and it was crazy. And I'm talking to my buddy, and I'm like, man, I don't even want to look at my damn crypto account. And he's like, well, you got some Bitcoin? You guys say, yeah, I got Bitcoin. When'd you buy in? 40, 50 grand. Me too. And we're just sitting there like, hey, it sucks. And I just remember having this epiphany where it's like, aren't you supposed to buy low and sell high? And then I looked at him and I told him that, and he was like, "You're right." And then me and him the next day we went and we dropped 1,000, and I got in at around 22,000, right? And then he got in around, I think he got around 19, but because it was starting to move up again, you know. And I got in, I was like, "Oh, whatever." I didn't think too much of it, right? And then one day we're at work, same coworker, pop open my phone, I look at my account, it's finally in the not in the red, it's in the green. And I'm like, yo, I'm $2,200 up. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, I'll just gotta go. Should I cash in? I don't know what to do. Finally, I decided, I don't want to cash it all in. I was like, I'll do 1,700. So it was my first major gain in Bitcoin was $1,700, right? I'm not a baller. I'm a baller on a budget, but I'm in. That was the whole key thing. And why I had to do the card read. Should I get involved in this? And it said it's gonna be a wild ride, and it has been, right? So it went up to about 29,000. I got in, then it dropped about 25, and then I took the money and I invested some money into Ethereum because I wanted some Ethereum, and then it went down to about 26,000. I reinvested $600 back in to Bitcoin, and then I just said I'll just keep a little cash on the side in case it goes low. And then ever since that point, for like a year now, it's been at 29,000. Excuse me. Sometimes I say 100. It's 29,000. And then the other day, it was funny because my account's been locked for like a month. I can't do it. I can't get into it. Finally, they worked with me on Coinbase. It was just something technical error. I log in, and the next day it jumps up from 29,000 to 35,000. My account goes up 4 G's, $4,000, right? And I'm like, for what? For what? When I'm like, I gotta cash in, but I was like, I don't want to cash in. I'm in this for the long haul. Like, what do I do? Plus, I don't want to pay taxes. I don't know how to do the tax. I gotta file taxes this year. I've never really done crypto. I don't know how that works. So I'm like, well, what if it goes to 40,000? Okay. And then you pulled out the 4,000 and you got to figure out the taxes with that. So I said, pull out 1,300. That way, you've done $3,000 for the year. You pocketed, which is good for doing for what? For what? Right. So I got 3 grand. Keep that money in case it goes above 40. That way that can double and make more money for you. And then you got 1,300, you got at least a G, and then you got 300 to cover the possibly $300. I think it's 10% that you have to pay. So 3,000, 10% of 3,000 is 300. So that's covered, and then you have money to reinvest. So now I'm playing with the house money, baby. It's like going to the casino with $1,000, and then you win 5,000. You go up back to your hotel room, you put the money, they put the 1,000. Matter of fact, you put 2,000 away into your little drawer there. You go back down, and now I'm playing with the house money. See how quick it moved? You see how scared? This is why I think it was inflated. I think they did this on purpose to make Bitcoin go to that super high during COVID. I think big money, big banks are scared of it. So they tried to raise it to an ultimate high, get us in there, and then crush our will by pulling all that money out. But people like me and my buddy and everybody else, we didn't buckle. We left our money in there and we put more money. And look what just $1,000 investment at $22,000 got me. It got me $1,700, which was $2,200 in reality. Just that little investment, just that little movement from 22,000 to 29 or 30,000, I was able to get it. And then instead of taking my money and going having a party, I reinvested it. And another thing I want to tell you is I should not have cashed out that money for Ethereum. I should have converted my Bitcoin into Ethereum. That's an option you have to convert your Bitcoin into another or your Bitcoin or your crypto into another crypto. And by the way, with this current rise, I had Bitcoin Cash, which is another tip. Bitcoin Cash has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Okay, it's not a Bitcoin. It's its own thing. Okay. And so that had been down too. I only had a couple $100 in that. Well, guess what? That's up 180. And I learned, so I converted that, which was about $300 into Bitcoin. So now not only am I in under 40 and 50,000, which was my original purchase, in at 22,000, 26,000. I'm now in at 34,000. And if it drops again, I'll be in at whatever that low is. Okay. I'm playing with the house money. This is how you use Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin. You got to do it like this. It's all about getting in at the low, okay? And you can get in at the low and you can start playing with the house's money. And it moves so quick. It's so crazy. One day you wake up and your account's up 4 G's. What do? Take a little bit of that pie, a little slice of that pie, and reinvest it, but keep the rest. Because what if I would have took the whole 4,000 when I came and the Bitcoin was at 35,000? I take the whole 4,000. What if it goes over 40,000? You're talking about 7 to 8 grand I'm missing out on. So that's why I just took a little slice of that pie so I can figure out the taxes. It's good to know, good to see all that. I'm not too worried about it, but keep that money in there because people say it's a big Ponzi scheme. The stock market, it's all a big Ponzi scheme to me. But nothing that I have ever been in other than Tesla back in the day has moved like this Bitcoin. It moves up and down, and that's why I'm so happy to be playing with the house money. It's like walking into the casino, winning, and then taking the money you went in with and putting that back in your room. You know what I'm saying? You're playing with the house's money. That's what I'm doing right now, and that's going to continue to grow. And if tomorrow Alex Jones farts in the wind and for whatever reason Biden gets murked, I don't know. I don't wish this on anybody. Whatever foolish reason makes the Bitcoin go up or down, I'm happy either way. If it goes down, I'm going to take that $1,900 I have from the $3,000 I made over 2023, and I'm going to reinvest that. And then I know that just reinvesting at 26,000 or 22,000, if that thing pops to 35 or 40,000, I'm going to be up 5, 6,000. That's how it works. And I'm just small pennies. I'm the little fish in a big pond, baby. But I'm moving and a grooving, just like this card reading told me. Get ready for a wild ride. But until next time, we'll talk again. And oh yeah, I just figured out all my URLs. I'm Mikey Romero at rumble.com, the original. I'm Mikey Romero at gab.com. And on Facebook, I'm Romero235. And I was Mikey Romero on Parler until they erased it, but that's okay. And on YouTube, I'm Mikey Romero 8521. With that being said, peace out.